Most women don't remember the men who tried the hardest. They remember the men who never had to try. She forgets compliments. She forgets promises. She even forgets attention when it's given too freely. But she never forgets the man who had control. Because what stays in a woman's mind is not how much you gave her, but how much of yourself you didn't give away. Every woman carries the memory of one man she couldn't replace. Not because he was perfect, not because he chased her harder than anyone else, and not because he made her feel constantly desired. She remembers him because his presence created impact. He spoke less, but his words landed heavier. He was calm where other men were reactive. He didn't orbit her emotions, and he never acted like her approval defined his value. That contrast is what lingers. That contrast is what confuses her. That contrast is what separates him from every man she easily forgot. This video is not about attraction tricks, not about manipulation, and not about learning how to impress women. It's about understanding why certain men are unforgettable, even when they walk away, stay silent, or say no. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This isn't a motivational quote, it's a psychological principle. A man who governs himself naturally changes how others experience him. He doesn't chase reactions, he creates gravity. That is why some men leave a permanent mark, not because they demanded attention, but because they never needed it. In this video, we'll break down 6 Stoic traits that make women never forget a man. Not behaviors designed to please, but internal disciplines that quietly command respect. And everything begins with the first one, because if a man cannot do this, no other trait matters.
Trait number 1, the man who can say no without fear. Most men think saying yes keeps a woman interested. In reality, it slowly erases her respect. A man who is afraid to say no is a man who is afraid to lose, and fear is something women sense immediately, even when it's hidden behind politeness, humor, or over-availability. When you say yes to everything, you are not being kind. You are revealing that her approval matters more than your principles. Every weak man says yes. Yes to plans he doesn't want. Yes to behavior he doesn't respect. Yes to moods he didn't create and shouldn't manage. And over time, that yes becomes invisible. But the man who can calmly say no, without anger, without explanation, without fear, activates something very different in a woman's psychology. Because no signals boundaries, and boundaries signal self-respect. When a man says no and doesn't flinch, he tells her, "I am not here to be chosen. I already chose myself." That changes the dynamic. She may not like it in the moment. She may test it. She may push back emotionally, but deep down, something shifts. Because a man who can disappoint her without panic is a man who does not depend on her emotional state to feel whole, and that is rare. Saying no doesn't mean being cold. It doesn't mean being rude. It means being rooted. You don't argue, you don't justify, you don't negotiate your standards. You simply state the truth and stand in it. This is why women remember these men, not because they were agreeable, but because they were grounded. A man who can say no without fear forces her to confront a question she can't ignore. If he's not afraid to lose me, what does he know about himself that I don't? And that question stays with her long after the conversation ends, because respect doesn't come from pleasing, it comes from presence, and presence begins with the courage to say no.
Trait number 2, the man who walks away first. Nothing unsettles a woman's mind more than a man who leaves without drama. Most men walk away as a tactic. They hope she notices. They hope she chases. They hope their absence hurts her enough to pull her back. That is not power. That is delayed begging. A Stoic man walks away for a different reason. He leaves because his peace matters more than her confusion. He leaves because his self-respect is non-negotiable, and most importantly, he leaves without needing an outcome. This is what makes it unforgettable. When a man argues, explains, or pleads, a woman understands him emotionally. But when a man simply stops, her mind has no script. There's no closure, no emotional resolution, no final dominance, and the mind hates unfinished loops. Most men chase because they want certainty. The man who walks away first creates uncertainty, but from a position of strength. He doesn't announce his exit. He doesn't threaten to leave. He doesn't use silence as punishment. He just withdraws his attention, cleanly, calmly, permanently if needed. And that withdrawal does something profound. It flips the power dynamic, because attention is currency, and when a man stops spending it, she is forced to ask why. Not out loud, internally. Did I misjudge him? Was he more solid than I thought? Why wasn't I enough to make him stay? These questions don't come from rejection, they come from contrast. She is used to men fighting to remain in her orbit, but this man chose distance over disrespect, and that choice lingers. Walking away first is not about winning her back. It is about proving without words that you are not emotionally available to chaos. A man who stays when he should leave teaches her she can push endlessly. A man who leaves at the first violation teaches her where the line is, and lines create gravity. This is why women never forget these men, not because they disappeared, but because they disappeared without collapsing. Because a man who can walk away without looking back reveals something rare and disturbing. He does not need her to feel complete. And once a woman senses that, she may forget many men in her life, but she never forgets that one.
Trait number 3. The man who never competes for her attention. The moment a man competes for a woman's attention, he has already lost the psychological position. Most men don't realize this. They think effort creates attraction. They believe showing up more, texting faster, and doing extra will make her value them. But psychologically, competition signals something else entirely. I am beneath you. A Stoic man never fights for attention, because attention is not something he gives away to be chosen. It is something he allocates by principle. Look at how weak men behave. They adjust their lives around her availability. They wait for replies. They interrupt their work, their purpose, their rhythm, the moment her name lights up their phone. That isn't devotion, that is self-abandonment, and women feel it instantly. A Stoic man is already committed to his standards, his discipline, his direction. So when a woman enters his life, she enters a structure that already exists. She doesn't become the center of gravity. She orbits a man who is already moving. This is where mystery is born, not from silence, not from manipulation, but from non-competition. He doesn't chase conversations. He doesn't fight for space. He speaks when he has something to say and leaves when his time is up. And because his attention is not guaranteed, it becomes valuable. Here is the psychological paradox. The man who gives attention freely makes it worthless. The man who withholds it artificially creates resistance. But the man who spends attention deliberately creates desire without effort. She begins to notice what isn't being offered. She wonders where his focus goes. She senses that access to him must be earned, and that realization changes everything. Because women don't fall for men who compete, they become obsessed with men who were never trying to win in the first place. A Stoic man doesn't compete for attention. He makes attention follow him. Trait number 4. The man who exposes her flaws calmly. Most men are afraid of a woman's displeasure. They avoid tension. They avoid conflict. They avoid saying what might make her uncomfortable. So when she crosses a line, when she is disrespectful, inconsistent, or emotionally manipulative, they stay silent. not because they are mature, but because they are afraid. A Stoic man is different. He does not raise his voice, he does not insult, he does not lecture, but he also does not lie to preserve comfort. When something is off, he names it, calmly, precisely, without emotion. And that calm exposure creates more impact than anger ever could. Here is what weak men misunderstand. They think calling out a woman's behavior will make her lose attraction. In reality, the opposite is true. What destroys attraction is a man who tolerates what he secretly resents. A Stoic man values truth over approval, and that priority is felt immediately. When he holds up a mirror without aggression, without blame, without needing to win, he communicates something powerful. I am not dependent on your reaction. That independence is rare, and rarity creates respect. Psychologically, this is where the shift happens. She realizes she cannot control him with moods. She cannot test him into silence. She cannot bend reality by applying pressure, because he is not trying to keep her happy, he's trying to keep himself aligned. And that alignment creates gravity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone is mistaken, gently correct him. If you cannot, correct yourself." A Stoic man lives this principle. He corrects without cruelty. He observes without attachment. And if a woman cannot meet his standard, he does not argue. He disengages. That is why this trait leaves such a deep mark, because women don't forget the man who didn't submit, didn't explode, and didn't need validation. They remember the man who told the truth calmly and was willing to walk away if it wasn't respected.
Trait number 5, the man who controls his desire. Most men collapse the moment desire appears. They want her, and suddenly their discipline disappears. They text too much. They give too fast. They make themselves available before anything has been earned, and in doing so, they reveal the truth they don't want to admit. Their desire controls them. A Stoic man feels desire, but he does not obey it, and that distinction changes everything. Here's the psychological paradox most men miss. Women are not drawn to how much you want them. They are drawn to how well you contain that want, because containment signals power. When a man wants her and still maintains his routine, his boundaries, his emotional balance, he separates himself instantly from the crowd. She senses it, not consciously, but deeply. This is where attraction intensifies, because now the question flips. Instead of asking, "How can I have her?" she begins asking, "Why doesn't he need me?" Desire, when uncontained, is weakness. Desire, when mastered, becomes gravity. A Stoic man does not rush intimacy. He does not chase escalation. He does not use desire to negotiate value. He allows space, and space creates tension. That tension is what stays in her mind. Epictetus warned, "No man is free who is not master of himself." A Stoic man lives this fully. He does not suppress desire, he disciplines it. And when she realizes something unsettling, everything changes. She realizes he could have pursued her harder. He could have tried to win her faster. He could have given in, but he chose restraint. And restraint communicates abundance. It tells her, "My life does not orbit around this moment." That realization is unforgettable, because women may enjoy attention, but they respect self-command. And the man who controls his desire without becoming cold, without becoming distant, without becoming cruel, is the man she remembers long after the feelings have faded, because he never lost himself to wanting her. Trait number 6, the man who makes her earn his respect. Most men give respect too easily. They offer it before it's deserved, before consistency, before effort, before loyalty. And when respect is free, it becomes invisible. A Stoic man understands something most men don't. Respect is not a gift, it is a standard. He does not disrespect women, but he does not place them on a pedestal either. He observes. He watches behavior over time. He pays attention to how she treats others, how she handles disagreement, how she shows up when things are inconvenient. And only then does he invest respect.
This is where female psychology shifts, because when a woman realizes that a man is not impressed by beauty alone, not swayed by flirtation alone, not softened by emotion alone, she feels challenged. Not challenged in a hostile way, but in a way that awakens effort. She begins to rise, because humans value what they must earn. A Stoic man never says, "You have my respect." He lets his behavior reveal it slowly. He listens differently. He prioritizes selectively. He opens access gradually. And if standards are crossed, he responds calmly. No anger, no lectures, no emotional punishment, just consistency. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." A Stoic man applies this to relationships. He does not reward chaos. He does not excuse disrespect. He does not negotiate his values to keep connection. And this is why he becomes unforgettable. Because most men chase approval, but very few men allow a woman to earn theirs. When she realizes she cannot shortcut her way into his respect, she feels something rare, a desire to be better, not to control him, but to meet him. And that dynamic stays with her, because women may crave attention, but they never forget the man whose respect wasn't cheap.
Final reflection: the man women never forget. When you look at all 6 traits together, a clear pattern appears. None of them are about tricks. None of them are about chasing desire. None of them are about controlling women. They are about controlling yourself. The man women never forget is not the loudest, not the nicest, not the most available. He is the most contained. He can say no without fear. He can walk away without drama. He doesn't compete for attention. He confronts truth calmly. He controls his desire, and he makes respect something that must be earned. Each trait points to the same core: inner authority. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That is the real psychology at work. When a woman senses that a man is not driven by need, not ruled by emotion, not desperate for validation, her mind does something instinctive. She pays attention, because unpredictability mixed with discipline creates emotional impact, and emotional impact is what memory is built on. This is why the men who leave the deepest mark are rarely the ones who tried the hardest. They didn't force connection. They didn't beg for meaning. They didn't explain their worth. They lived it. And that is the paradox. The moment you stop trying to be unforgettable and start mastering yourself instead, you become exactly that. Thank you for watching Stoic Wisdom today. If this video resonated with you, watch the next one in the Men, Women, and Stoicism playlist. Not to learn how to control women, but to learn how to stand unshaken in yourself. Because the strongest presence is the man who doesn't need to be remembered, yet always is. Until next time, stay calm, stay grounded, stay stoic.